After his victory over Goliath, David became the most celebrated figure in Israel. The women sang his praises. The soldiers admired him, and Jonathan, the crown prince, entered into a covenant with him. Yet as David's popularity grew, Saul's position became increasingly fragile. The king is driven by fear and insecurity. This episode marks a crucial turning point. David ceases to be a court servant. He begins to emerge as an independent political leader. The story of David's flight is not merely a man escaping persecution. It is the story of a kingdom in crisis. Saul still sits on the throne, but he is gradually losing the three foundations of royal legitimacy. First, he has lost the prophet Samuel. Second, the confidence of the people. And third, the loyalty of his own family. Jonathan supports David. Michal protects him. Even Saul's own servants admire the young hero. As the narrative unfolds, Saul becomes increasingly isolated. The king appears more alone with every passing chapter. One of the most remarkable features is that members of Saul's own household repeatedly assist David. When Saul sends messengers to kill David, Michal lowers her husband through a window and helps him escape. She then places household idols in the bed to deceive Saul's men. A divided royal family is laid bare. David is gone. The king wants David dead. His own children refuse to cooperate. The struggle for the throne has already begun within. David's next stop is Nob, the city of priests. There he encounters Ahimelech the priest. At first glance, this appears minor. Politically, however, it is extremely significant for David's path. David has the support of the prophet, the crown prince, and much of the population. Now he adds the priesthood. Ahimelech gives David consecrated bread from the sanctuary. It is a symbol of religious legitimacy. He then presents him with the sword of Goliath. The sword represents the military glory David already possesses. Religious and military legitimacy are gradually shifting toward him. The narrator carefully combines both forms. But support for David comes at a terrible price. Doeg the Edomite reports everything he witnessed to Saul. The king reacts with fury. He accuses Ahimelech and the priests of treason against the crown. When Saul's own guards refuse to execute the priests, Doeg carries out the slaughter himself. The city of Nob is destroyed. The priestly community is annihilated. Saul is consumed by fear and paranoia. The narrative generates sympathy for David. Although he is not present, the audience understands the cost of helping him. Only one priest escapes, Abiathar, the son of Ahimelech. He flees to David and joins his camp. Abiathar brings the priestly ephod, an important symbol of religious authority. This moment is politically crucial. The significance is difficult to overstate. The religious establishment is beginning to move toward the future king. David's next destination is the cave of Adullam. Here the narrative undergoes a dramatic transformation. Until now, David has been a lone fugitive. Now he becomes a leader. People begin to gather. The Bible describes those who gather around him as everyone in distress, everyone in debt, and everyone discontented. He builds a new power base among those neglected by the ruling establishment. A private army begins to take shape. David is not merely surviving, he is building. This is the heart of the Machiavellian interpretation. He gathers allies, builds networks of loyalty, and waits. He understands that power is accumulated through patience. In many ways, David is already acting like a king long before he wears a crown. He builds reputation. By the end of this episode, two centers of power exist in Israel: the legal king and the fugitive leader. Saul has the palace and the army, but David possesses something equally important: loyalty and divine anointing. David has lost his home and position, yet it is in the wilderness that his kingdom truly begins. Saul remains on the throne, but the future is gathering in the cave of Adullam. The road to the throne becomes shorter. Next episode, David's road to the throne, the death of Saul, civil war, and David's final ascent to become king.